Okay, guys, so this is your makeup portion of it. We are again doing something simple. Um, yeah. Everybody last year basically got these little palettes. I'm gonna have to ask her where she got them. So I'm just gonna keep using this palette so that it's easier for most of you. We're only going to be using two colors out of this, and two brushes or three brushes. Just for the eyes, and then I recommend either liquid eyeliner, um, mainly, just because it's going to be easier. I'm going to show you one liquid eyeliner freehand, and then the other side will be the trick for people who need help with it. Which I would recommend a angle brush for the other side that I'm going to show you. But I'm using three different kinds. They may look kind of the same to you. I'm using kind of a bigger, fluffier brush. And then I have kind of like a fluffy, tapered brush. And then I have kind of like a smaller one to work into the crease. But I'll let you know which ones I'm using each time I use them. So I think that's it. This is just eyes. I may go a little bit into what I want on the face, but most of it is on a different video. You will also need some mascara. I don't care what kind you use as long as you have it, and then red lipstick. So most of you already have those things. So let's get started, I guess. Like I said, I will only be using two colors, and it'll be these. Well, it'll be this one right here. It's on the top row, the third one over, and then this one. It's at the very, very bottom, two in. So this one and this one up here. So I'm going to take that fluffy brush, the big one, and dip it into that lighter color at the top, the first one I pointed to. And I'm just going to put that all over the lid. Also, I recommend if you're going to do the trick, which is with Scotch tape, I recommend doing your foundation after you do your eyes. But I do recommend having some sort of base on your eyes, whether it be foundation, concealer, a primer, something so that it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't smear, it doesn't crease. You keep your same quality that you had when you put it on. So with that light color, fluffy brush, all over the lid. I don't know if you guys can see the difference. This is the one that has it, and this is the one that doesn't. Just all over, nothing precise. Then I'm going to take my very, very tapered one, not the fluffied one, but the one that I was talking about that goes in the crease. Then I'm going to use that second color, the darker one. Put my brush in it. I'm going to tap it off so that it's not as concentrated when I put it on. And I'm just going, you can feel your crease. Like there's your bone. It's literally right there, like right under it. That's where you're going to focus it. Basically where your eye is, right there. When you open your eyes, literally that crease. Start at the outer corner and move inward. Then if you wanted to, I'm going to go back in with kind of I'm going to go in with the smaller tapered one. Get that same exact color. And kind of use it to blend it out while I still apply it. So how I'm blending it, I'm going to the edges of the actual color and just using the same motions. Then you can go back in with your fluffy brush. With this brush, try not to make the actual pigment go away. That's why I stay on the outsides, on the very edges of that color, so that I don't lose it. You can always apply more if you do lose it, but just to blend it out some, I keep it there. And then I go down to where those colors meet, and then I do the exact same thing. And then I will just do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to try this side with just the tapered and the fluffy brush. So just kind of like, not the one that I used just to do the crease, the second brush that I used, just kind of the tapered one to apply it. Just to see if that one does about the same thing, or what I need it to. So again, I'm starting at the end and I'm going inwards. I'm using circular and windshield wiper motions to apply and blend it as I go. I'm switching back to the big fluffy brush because this one is more pigmented than that one. So I'm just going to try to blend that one out a bit more. I don't know if you can see the difference from before I put that crease color, darker color on versus when I didn't have it on. So that side's still a little bit darker, so I'm just going to reapply some on this side to get them kind of even. And these are shimmery colors, so you'll probably have some fallout on the ends, which is why I also recommend to not do your foundation beforehand. If you do have some fallout, just kind of take kind of a fluffy brush, and not the one you use to apply it, but kind of like a face powder brush, and just go underneath and wipe it away. So here comes the fun part, which is the eyeliner. For this, you will either need a liquid eyeliner or a black eyeshadow. I recommend both, honestly, because my rule is anywhere you have a liquid, you should have a powder. So if you use liquid eyeliner, I recommend putting a powder over it in the exact same place that you put it. So I'm using, this is Wet n Wild. It says H2O proof, which just means that it's waterproof. It's not going to come off easily. So if you sweat, it's not going to go anywhere. Not until, you're taking your entire makeup off at the end of the night. It just looks like this. It's pretty cheap. I think it's like $5 and it lasts. So we're doing a wing. Oh, I'm probably going to get black all over me. So when I open this, and it has like a little felt tip to it, I make sure that that tip has no clumps. It's literally just the tip with some product on it so that I can use it. So I'm going to start from the edge of my eye and come up. I'm not going to make this an extravagant wing, but I need it to be a wing, not something small, not something ginormous, but a decently sized so that you can see what it is. So I'm going to start at the end. And the trick to this is basically practice. But try to make sure the tip of your wing is a lot thinner than the base of your wing. So I'm coming in. I'm going to drag that all the way into my inner corner. And then you just fill it in. So again, my rule is anywhere you have a liquid, you have a powder. So right after I do that, so that it doesn't transfer, try to keep your eye kind of closed. I'm going to take an angle brush. You can see that an angle brush with some black eyeshadow, and just go over it a little bit just to kind of set it. Don't go out of the lines, because if you do, you're going to lose the shape of your wing. Okay, so here comes the fun part. The other side. So I had a question asked about like what kind of Scotch tape should you use? What tape do you use? I recommend probably the cheapest kind, so that if you do decide to do your foundation beforehand, it doesn't rip it off as much, but you still have something there. I prefer probably the Dollar Tree version over like the Walmart version because it's cheaper and it doesn't stick as well. If you want, put it on your hand a few times so that it gets some of that stickiness off. Because your eye is a sensitive area, you don't want things pulling on it that causes wrinkles later on in life. So I put it on my hand a few times. I'm going to place it under my eyelashes. I don't know if I can get this in the camera. And exactly where I want the eyeshadow liner to be. So I know you can see that it's there. I'm not going to follow it all the way up. I'm just going to put it where I need it to be. The eyeshadow, the trick to this is that the eyeshadow is not going to go past the tape. Even if you have liquid eyeliner, you can use the tape with the liquid eyeliner. I just don't think it works as well, but I just started freehanding it instead. So I just put some black eyeshadow, which you have in your palette as well, with an angled brush. I say an angled brush so that you can get that top part, because the tape isn't going to do anything for the top part. It's just going to do it for that bottom to get that shape. So I'm just going to kind of brush it down toward my eye. And again, the trick to this is keeping the very, very tip of that liner smaller than the base so that it makes the wing. Try to narrow it, taper it off. But you can drag it all the way in, or just use it for the wing part and then use like your regular liner for it, or use your regular liner in general to go over it so that it is more pigmented, because the eyeshadow isn't going to be as pigmented as an actual liner. Sorry, I'm looking for my liner. I didn't take it out. I use a kohl eyeliner, kind of like a crayon eyeliner. What is it? It's Rimmel Black 100. It's waterproof as well. Waterproof is always good. So after I put that already on there, I'm just going to finish my eye with this liner. And I'm just going to go over that with this liner as well. I just think the liquid is simpler. It gives you kind of a tighter edge. That is driving me crazy. And now I'm just going to take the tape off and see what it gives me. See, I have a wing there. If it ever goes below the tape, like you didn't put the tape down as tight as you needed it to be or something, you can always go in with like concealer or foundation or something to fix it. But as you can see, my liquid eyeliner is more pigmented, it's more sharp than the eyeshadow one. So that's why I always choose liquid over the eyeshadow in general. So for the lips, I don't care what kind you use, whether it's liquid, whether it's stick, as long as it's red. So I kind of recommend doing a lip liner, although I never use them. I just outline my lips with my lipstick that I'm using. Make sure you don't go all the way into your edges, like the crease of your mouth, because then it's just going to be blotchy. It's not going to make it look like you have a mouth. You're kind of going to look like a clown with it. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so that's basically your final look. The only other things that I did not mention in this that you will need will be foundation, powder to go over your. You'll need liquid foundation and then you'll need a powder foundation. Because if not, you will sweat that entire liquid off and it will not set because you didn't have a powder. But these little guys, they actually come with a little powder. They come with blush, which you will also need. That's why I just love these. It also comes with liquid lipstick. So you need a little applicator for that. I don't know if they actually come with an applicator. It looks like they had a section for it. Eyeliner, mascara, liquid lipstick. I'm going to try to get everybody one of these. I also recommend contouring just so that you have a face. You will get washed out on the field with just foundation on. You won't have a face. You'll just be this blob on the field. I think I got this for like $2. It's Wet n Wild. I know you can get them at Walmart. So they're really inexpensive, really cheap. And blush. Blush is a huge thing, like I said. I recommend kind of a blush brush and just circle it on your cheeks and bring it back. I had a question about highlight. I don't care. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. Just your basics are at least blush, eyeliner, red lipstick. Those are my main concerns. For the simple things, then you have your foundations. So if you have any questions, let me know. I will try to help you as much as possible. Good luck, guys.